Hello and welcome back to the screening of Singing Wings. And please greet with me, Mihriban Salih. Thank you for being here, and also thank you for reading the statement of the director at the beginning of this wonderful film. I would like to start our conversation by asking you more about where this Kurdish village is located inside Iran, and also connected to that, can you explain us again a little bit better the meaning of the storks, like culturally?
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much. Thank you everyone for watching and staying with us all the time. That village is close to Mariwan city, is in East Kurdistan, which is located in the Iranian part. And yeah, the cultural meaning of the storks, it's more connected to prosperity, and also reproduction, and yeah, like peacefulness as well at the same time.
And I believe the director, Hamen, is also from this region, right?
Not exactly from that village, but actually he was going there. The first plan was to go there and make a film about the connection of the birds and nature, and how nature and the birds were preserved there. But after knowing about that family, the story of that family, and especially Khaje, who was taking care of other storks even before this one, like because of the metallic cables, like there were always some storks that were getting injured. And when he heard the story from Khaje that actually there was another stork who was injured before and she was taking care of it, he decided to switch his interest into recording the story of Khaje taking care of the storks.
I found it also quite striking how there are two stories about migration running parallelly in this film. So one is about the storks migrating every winter, but then also about the daughter who is emigrating or about to emigrate to the UK. What do you know how this did it also develop during shooting as a second, let's say, narrative line, or do you know anything about how this developed? And also, do you know if why the main protagonist, the elderly woman, why for her it's not a contradiction that she's sort of helping the bird to migrate, but not she's struggling with the daughter to do the same?
That's an interesting question. Actually, that story also developed when he knew more about that family, and that daughter was also about to migrate. So it was something similar, but at the same time contradictory, like you mentioned. And yeah, I think I don't know how to explain it, but it's just, I think it's similar. Like the way that she's taking care of her daughter is the same way that she's taking care of the stork. And when she was asking the husband why he was smoking, and he answered, because I have 8 daughters, and everyone with 8 daughters will be will be smoking. I literally remembered my dad's answer whenever I am calling him from here, and he's always complaining that, okay, one of my brothers is not married yet, the other one doesn't have a good job, and he's worried about them. So that was pretty familiar to me, that they are taking care about the children, but at the same time, Khaja is taking care of that stork just like her children. And it was really interesting as well that she started smoking as well after the stork died on the grave. So yeah, it shows how like it's somehow similar to her, to take care of her children at the same time, and take care of the stork who was living near her house, and she was somehow protecting the stork as well at the same time.
I would like to already open now for the audience to pose questions. Is there someone who would like to go first? Yes, please.
It's very impressive for me to see. It's so moving that this population of this village is so connected to the storks, because they must have been a form of concurrence, of a competition, because this village was living surely from fishing, and so oftenly there's no good connection between the population and this competence. So maybe you can explain a bit about this relation between the people and the home.
Generally, the people of the villages of Kurdistan, they are always living with some animals around them. Like even sometimes it switches to the cities as well. Like so there are some shopkeepers who was just taking care of a sheep and taking him every day to his shop. So there is always this very close relationship between the people living in the Kurdish villages and the animals around them. So they never take it as a competition. Actually, like whatever remains from their own food, they always take it to the kitchens, and the other animals, they just pour it outside their houses and the animals will just feast on it. So no, they never feel that. And the hospitality, even for human beings, of Kurdish people is very famous. Whenever a stranger goes there, they directly take him to their house and ask him to stay for 1 week or two, and they directly make a feast for them. So yeah, it's very famous for Kurdish people, and yeah, they're treating the animals same, like likewise.
Thank you.
Another question. Yes, please.
Well, I was very impressed by the protagonist because she seemed so, her mind was so set on that she wanted to save that stork. And I thought it's amazing. She never seemed to doubt her mission and the way she approached all those people and being very clear about what she wants. Do you think that's a trait you find in a lot of women in that region? And or is it especially her? And I was also wondering what's the age difference between her and her husband, and also did the daughter migrate, and did the father then decide not to live any longer, or what's the story afterwards?
For the first question, it is actually generally like a very noticeable feature of Kurdish women to be leaders and always taking care of everyone around them. Like she was taking care of the husband. She had already raised 12 children. Just like the daughter said, yeah, you have 11 other children rather than me. And also at the same time, she was finding time to take care of the stork as well. So it is definitely a feature, a noticeable feature of Kurdish women. And when we were here and watched it for the first time, when they were making another nest for the birds, she said, that rope is not tied very well. My friends literally laughed at me because I'm always like that. We have a Kurdish community here, and whenever we are having a project or something to run, I'm always like telling them, okay, this is not done good enough, and I make sure that everyone is. I'm a perfectionist. I make sure that everything goes well. So yeah, I think it is generally a trait of Kurdish women to feel responsible for everyone around them. And as for the other question, she's actually 64 years old, and the husband is 100 years old. Yeah. It was common among that generation to marry the daughters very young, and sometimes when a man was losing one wife, and then he was marrying a much younger bride. So yeah, we have heard a lot of those stories that the man is much older than the woman, and it was apparent in the film. What was the last question? I think I
I was
forgot.
wondering
Sorry.
if the daughter, if she left to Britain, and also because the father said, if you leave, I might not live any day longer. So being 100 back then. So.
Yeah, actually, I don't know exactly about the future of the daughter and what happened to the father after she left. But as far as I'm concerned, and I know Kurdish parents, like, they understand. They will be sad eventually, but they understand. After all that, okay, it's for the happiness of the daughter, and she also has to follow her fate. And yeah, hopefully, I will also ask about that. But yeah, hopefully, he has made it after her. Any more questions? It can also be in German. We're fine with that.
If there's none for now, I would like to ask you something I just stumbled across, because when I started our talk, I said it's set in a Kurdish village inside Iran, and then you said it's in Kurdistan on the Iranian side.
Yeah.
Could we speak a little bit more about, to give it sort of a political framing as well, about the reality of those Kurdish societies and the restrictions they face, and also in what ways that is also connected to the filmmaker not being able to be here?
Yeah, actually, Kurdistan is divided between Iraq, Iran, Turkey, and Syria. This happened after the Second World War, when the winner forces divided the area between those four countries, and since then, only in the Iraqi part we have the Kurdistan region of Iraq, which is a semi-independent Kurdistan there, and the other parts are still under the control of Iraq, Iran, and Syria. Syria, Iran, and Turkey. And yeah, they're not allowed to be called Kurdistan, I would say. And yeah, he couldn't make it because he's considered to be an Iranian as well, and because of the war, and he doesn't even now have a proper internet connection for communication. And yeah, this is the story or the history of Kurdistan, and only in the Iraqi part, which I am from there, in southern Kurdistan, we have a semi-independent region for ourselves. And actually, the restrictions are quite medium, I would say, between the parts, but it's always political, and that mixture of the parts or among the people of the part is not that very much allowed, because politically they are afraid of mixing or the mixing of the Kurdish people from the other parts. It's political after all, and yeah, we are still suffering from that. And Rojhelat, which we call it Rojhelat, which is East Kurdistan, have, like, it was recently the part that was suffering. And yeah, every now and then one part of Kurdistan is being attacked, just like it happened in Syria as well. Just before East Kurdistan or Rojhelat was involved in this war of Iran and the US, the other part, the western part, was in distress because the new Syrian forces were carrying so many attacks on them, and so many people were killed in their way to the Kurdish villages or the Kurdish cities there. So yeah, it has been like this since after the Second World War, and I don't know when will it stop.
Thank you for sharing this with us. Is there another question in the audience? Otherwise, I usually give the last word to our guests. Is there something we haven't talked about or you would like to announce before this?
Thank you so much for everyone. I didn't expect a full room. I really appreciate it, and I'm sure that the director will be very happy with that. And just to let you know one more information about me, I'm the program director of the Kurdish Film Days or Kurdish Film Tage here in Munich. And next week, our film days will start on the 20th to 24th of May. And if you like to know more about Kurdish films and our history, and this year, actually, our theme is about culture. So it's all about Kurdish dance, Kurdish customs, and Kurdish music, and everything that has to do with Kurdish customs and features. Feel free to join us, and I think my colleagues have hanged a poster of our program out there, so you can just scan the code and you will have the whole program. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it, and thank you for the great moderation and for DOK.fest for this chance. Thank you.
Thank you for being here. Thank you so much. Thank you very much, everyone. Enjoy the rest of DOK.fest, and have a good night. Thank you.